Hello there, everyone. I don't know what it is. I seem to be quite dark again. Is that my last live? Is that a bit better? When I go on my live on Friday on Tranquillity through Life's Natural Beauty, I do use StreamYard then, which is a much clearer picture. This is just the YouTube instant live button. So it's obviously never going to be the best of qualities. I have now got a ring light, so that you can imagine how dark it was before. It's middle of the day. Well, it's 5:30 in the evening, but it's still brilliant sunshine outside, and I've got the light on in the room. So I can't do any more than that, but it's okay for a chat. As I say, my new live's starting on Fridays on my other channel. I've always done StreamYard on that channel because that's a channel I show things a bit more and put little clips up and things. Whereas on here, it's just easier when I'm doing these just to chat mostly, but I have been sharing stuff. And for some reason, we can't link up the way everyone else does to put the thumbnail up and it instantly links to it. There's some issues here for some reason. Anyway, if you want to know when all my lives are, what time they start and what days they're on, then they are all linked under this video. There's 2 on this channel every Monday and every Monday and every Wednesday at the same time as this one. So see the link below if you don't know when that is. And there's random ones on Thursdays on my other channel, random Thursdays, random times, in the hope that I catch everyone at some point. You don't get any notifications of those at all because they're so random. So you need to make sure you're subscribed and hit the notification bell for that channel to know when they're on. But I will now be doing also regular Friday lives. That will be the Friday Friendship Club. Hence Friday, so you know what day it is. Friendship Club. You're all invited to partake. If anyone wants to come up at any point, you can do. You're certainly not obliged to, and you certainly won't be called up to come on the live. I'll only obviously have people up that want to come up, so don't feel you're going to be asked to come up. And I'm not always going to have people up, so it won't be a panel. If I have people up, it will be a one-to-one basis because it's too much to have all this conversation going on. And I do think sometimes you lose the link with the actual host sometimes. For me personally, that's my opinion. So if I have people up, it'll be a one-to-one basis. But there'll be lots going on there. There'll be little clips and lots of fun items, but most of all promoting community and friendship. And if you've got a channel, obviously, I will do my best to promote those on that channel as well. So all my 3 lives are going to be completely different. I'm going to go back to Mondays on this channel, being my little short theme items, a little bit of gardening, tips and hacks, household tips and hacks, a little bit of interest items, did you knows, lots of little short segments on Mondays. Wednesdays today will be just my updates and chit chat on this channel, letting you know what's going on, what's been happening, any update, and maybe a game or 2 thrown in there. So a little fun thing there. And then on my other channel, the Friday Friendship Club, will come along and see what we're going to do there. So I think, first of all, let's see what I've got to tell you. Little bit of housekeeping first, little reminders. First of all, a little while back, so you have to scroll down a few, on my community post, I put a picture up of a big plastic strawberry that we saw outside our shopping mall. And I'm asking you to say what you think, if you go round it, what's inside. And I've put some clues there as to what it is not. And I've decided if anyone gets it right, then you will get a prize. And also you will see the answer in an upcoming video on this channel with the title something about shopping haul. And that's obviously where we saw it as we were coming out the shopping mall. So once that video's up, obviously the competition has closed. So if you want to take part, scroll back a few community posts and you'll see a great big strawberry. And I think it starts off saying, what is this? Yes, of course it's a strawberry, but what do you think was inside? So there's that. Also, my 2K giveaway, I put up the second video to say who the winners are. If you're a winner, you do need to email me your address before the end of July. If I don't get your address, I'll assume for some reason you don't want the prize, or you don't want to disclose an address. So I will not be chasing. I need your I need you to email me your address where you want your prize to be posted. And then I do ask that if you've got a channel, you do film unboxing it, because I'm not showing what the prizes are. That's so you can promote your channel and maybe get some viewers from my channel to see what prize you got. So helpful to your channel for helping me to get to 2K. Oh, and a dream. Some of you love my dreams. I had a weird one last night. It was at my house. Well, it was definitely the front of my house, or the back of my house, where the pool is and the gardens. And there was a woman that came along and she said, oh, would you all like to learn how to do pottery? Now, it wasn't pottery. I do pottery. It wasn't pottery. It was like, imagine like rolling out some pastry, but it wasn't like you'd roll out clay. I don't know what it was, but she was like making this paper thin thing. And then she said, oh, I'm going to put it in the kiln. And it went all funny, like bubbly. I don't know. It was really weird. And she wasn't really showing us how to do it. She was just doing it. And then she said, right, it's going in the kiln. And I'll show you later what it comes out like. And then she said, right, off you'll go. Then you all need to do one. And we're like, oh, you didn't say how to do it, or will you be here when we go and put it in the kiln, because we don't know how to do that? No, she said, one person here doesn't want to do that. She's interested in stenciling. So I'm going to go and help her choose some stencils, not show her how to stencil. I'm going to help her choose some stencils. And we're like, well, kind of, we need help here. You did sort of give us a tutorial, explain how to do things. And we had to make this stuff from scratch, which she hadn't done. And she said, no, I'm going to do that. And we said, well, will you come up maybe when you've chosen some stencils and show us how to do it with the kiln? And she said, oh, no, I'll probably be gone the rest of the day choosing stencils. So we're like, oh, okay then. So I don't remember much more until I remember there's a tap on right down the end of my land. And I said, oh, would someone mind going and turning that off? Because we'd all finished with the water. And they went, well, you need to go and turn it off. It's like your garden. So I went, well, I can't walk at the moment, which is fact. So I was like, well, could someone go down and do it for me? And they're like, no, not really. So I was like, I don't know how to explain it, but I was kind of like, oh, trying to walk. And my land is really slope and steps down and everything. And I'm trying to go the quickest way, but the hardest way, because I really can't walk. So though there's steps down that, I thought it's quicker that way. Anyway, I got about halfway down and they'd gone the short way, the longer way, but flatter, round, overtaken me and turned it off. And I said, could you maybe not have told me you was going to turn the tap off for me, because I've had to literally crawl to try and turn the tap off. And then it went to, I was so worried that it was going flood. There then became a big flood, but that wasn't in the garden. It was a river further down. Now, we'd just looked at a property with a river beach on TV, so I'm thinking that's what this was. And there was this big river flood, and this massive dog was struggling in the water. And I couldn't do anything about it because I couldn't walk. I'm on the end of this jetty. And this man, he said, I can't really swim. And he said, it's freezing cold, the river at the moment. So he said, you'd perish if you went in it, but I need to get the dog. I don't have a wetsuit, but he put on this outfit that was like the old-fashioned anoraks that were like quilted, all thick and padded. And he had that, but it was like an all-in-one, like a snowsuit, I guess. And I said, oh, like, is that waterproof? He said, oh, no, it holds water, but at least it's a warm coat. So I'll be warm in the water, even though it was going to take on the freezing water. He enjoyed my dreams. So he jumped in. He couldn't really swim, but he got the dog out. And then he sat on the edge of the pier, like all worn out, and the dog sat there all worn out because he'd been struggling for a while, and there was nothing I could do. And I said, oh, well, at least you need to go and get dry and get the wet clothes off. He said, no. He said, I'm too tired. I just can't move anymore. And the dog's too tired. So we just sit here. And I said, you need to dry off or get warm clothes. And I couldn't go and get anything and help him because I actually had no legs at this point. And then I woke up. I think I must have woken up in pain with my legs or something. Who knows? But yeah, there was another episode of Dawn's Dreams. I hope you enjoyed that. I try and remember them for you because I dream every night. Absolutely every night. I just dream and dream. I'm sure I don't get my sleep. Often I can link them up to things, but sometimes not. Now, I was talking last live about an auction that I bid on some cross-stitch items. It was like one big packet. And I said, hopefully I have it by today to show you. Well, there was so much stuff that I thought it was easier to film it than try and hold things up and figure it all out. And I wanted to open the box of stuff, obviously, when Mike brought it home. And I didn't want to open it and then show it again. I wanted the element of, oh, what's in there. So I filmed it, and there's actually 2 parts because I filmed it all, what I got. And then I've done a second film because it was all mixed up and bits weren't with other bits. And I couldn't quite tell what I had of full sets and what weren't. So I filmed opening the box, or unboxing, as I like to call it. And then I've done another filming after I'd sorted all out. So then I can show you what I actually got. And I want to know if you feel I got my money's worth for what I got. And I explain my thoughts on that. But what I also want to know is if any of you buy the skeins or the threads of cross stitch, how much do they cost now, roughly? Because there was quite a lot, and I want to try and tally up how much the value was completely of what I've got. So if any of you do cross stitch, can you tell me roughly what a skein is? Now, also in it, I got this, and this is of no use to me whatsoever. So if this is of use to any of you and you want it, it's free and I'll post it to you. And the only fair way I can do this is the first person that emails me their address and says they want it. That's the fairest way I can do it. It says claws for silk painting. So if any of you do silk painting, or you can use them in another way. And it says there's elastic bands on the back, but I will pretty much guarantee they're no good, the elastic bands, because out here in the heat, elastic bands, you go to use them and they're nothing. So I'm going to say, don't think there are elastic bands. You'll be lucky if they're all right still. And this says a practical mean to fix the silk on the stretching frame without spoiling it by using the elastic bands enclosed. So I don't care if you don't want it, but you want to pass it on to someone else. So I'm not saying it's got to go to you. I just want it to go to someone that's got a use for it. And I'm thinking this is plastic. They look all right now, but I wouldn't like to guarantee them. I don't know if it's not been opened, but it does look a bit old. It says 24 sticks, 2, 4, 6. Maybe there's some both sides, 6, 12, 18, 24. That would make 24. 2 rows here, and that feels like there's 2 rows behind here. So if you want it or you want it to pass on, you're very welcome to pass it on to someone, because it's just no use to me whatsoever. If I don't get any response sooner rather than later, then I'll probably just put it as a free giveaway on our like computer, what do you call it, like community site. It's like Craigslist, but it's just in Cyprus as a free thing. I'll probably do that. But if you want it, just email me your address. My email is mostly under my lives. It's not under this one. It's definitely under the 2K video winners video, because I've asked people to email me. So if you can't find a live that's under, because I don't always put it under, but more often than not it's under. But if you can't find it, then just go to the 2K winners video. It's definitely under there, because winners need to email me. So if you want this, or you know someone who'd want it that you can pass it on to, I only need your address. It's so light, that can't cost me much to post. It's really light. So that my basket is coming along. I've now gone and taken all these out, because I had them going from the top downwards, and I've now put them from the bottom upwards. So as I wind this final part of rope round, I can literally stab it over each one of these. Whereas before I had it the other way, and each time I made a row, I had to pull the stick out and add it on, and that was getting a bit laborious. It's actually quite firm now, because I've spaced them fairly evenly. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do when I finish, because if I cut these off, will it pop off? Maybe I can find, a bead. If I've got some beads, I could glue a bead on. That would look nice. I do have beads, but I don't know if they'll be thick enough to bypass these. These are like kebab sticks, skewers. I'll get the right word sometimes. Yes, because obviously I can pull these up and down. I've got, let's see, show you how much I've got left to go. There's not as much as it seems. So that much, obviously I'm going to cut the end off and glue it like I did with the beginning, and I taped it with clear tape as well, just to keep it binded. Yeah, so there's not tons left to go. That's it. I said to Mike, right, because he said, what are you doing with these bits? I said, it's going to be a table. I'm going to make it a table and just stand it. Obviously, I'm not. I might leave a tiny bit of each one. I don't know. And I do think I've got to either glue it together at the top. The last row, maybe I'll glue. But I've got a feeling I'm going to leave these in, obviously, now. But I do feel, should I stitch maybe just the top row as well? Just stitch every now and then. I didn't want stitching to show. And obviously this would have taken me forever to sew. And I just didn't want any sewing showing. So look, you can't see. I think that's neat. And as I say, it's made it really sturdy. That's the bottom, really neat. So yeah, I don't know how much to take off the bottom. And I said to Mike, what do you think is best to cut these with? Mind you, it goes quite thick. So I think I only need a tiny bit, because it's not like it's just in a tiny bit, the stick. So maybe if I go and glue all the bottoms as well when I get there. I don't know. For now, I'm just going to continue going round and round, and I'll think about it when I get there a bit more. But yeah, beads is an idea, but I don't think these are too thick for my small beads. How many is there? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 12. Oh, we might have buttons. Maybe I might have pretty buttons. Maybe I'll start looking at that, see what I've got to go on the top. That'll finish it off nicely as well. Yeah, okay. I like to talk it through, because I've come up with a plan-ish. So So there's that. I might do a bit of that in a minute while I'm talking to you. And then because of all this cross-stitch stuff I've got, you'll see how I'm storing it. But I need to go through my own cross-stitch threads that I've got already. I have got a few of these left because I need to buy myself some more of these. And we'll just try to figure out where on earth we can get these sort of things from here. These are what I like to keep my cross-stitch threads on and wind it round and then write the number on the top. There's 2, 4, there's about 6 in there. A little dish. I need more than 6, so I need to get some of those. And I want to get 2 more of these. Now, I wonder if jumbo, I can get them in jumbo. They do containers. I've never really looked. I'm sure these sort of things you can get anywhere. I want them the same as these. And you'll see, this is what I like. And look, I sort of colour coordinate. So that's my, and I keep little odd thread bits in here of similar colours that are big enough to use again, but I don't like to mix sort of little bits left over with the main bits. And then if I'm just doing little flower decorations or little odd bits, I try and use these remnants up first. And this is the other one. I think I showed it in my video, what I use already. So yeah, nicely colour coordinated. I loved organising that. That's very pretty, isn't it? So there's those. I've got gifted these from a viewer of my channel. I've used a lot of them already, and these are different because you just pull out the bottom as you need it. I hadn't seen these before, so I've got quite a bit of these left. I've used a lot of the red. So there's those. I need to find something to keep all these bits in now. This is an old video case. I never threw away any video cases, and I also use a lot of cassette tape cases I use for various things. And then in the clear sort of side, I put a little picture so it looks like a little decorative box. And in this one, this came as a free gift with something I bought. I think those boxes, when I first bought those boxes for my thread, you've got some free thread with them. But these are a different brand, so I've just kept these separate. So some of these might do for some of those projects. So I've just not used those. I think it's a bit thicker, so this white one I've used for cord for something in the past. There's those. Oh, here we go. Here's the example of, isn't that pretty? This is a cassette tape case. And this is a project I haven't finished, but I wanted to keep the colours separate for what I'm using for that. And there's 2 empty thingies there, so that must be ones I've used up because I need more of exactly the same colour. So that's why they're in there, just to keep those separate. And then this is what I use all the time. Oh, I can't show you this. Hold on, because there's a secret project going on here. All will be revealed in time. So this is what I carry with me when I'm doing my cross stitch. It's another similar one of those containers. I won't tip it up too much because I'll lose the whole lot. So here I have an old butter dish. And in here, as I'm snipping off loose ends, I put them in there. And then when that gets full up, I actually put them on my compost rather than throw them away. Yes. And there's this little compartment you can see. I've got my fold-up scissors. And then there's a little pin cushion in here that I made. Going over there. And I actually put it upside down in here and put the needles in that side because I made this little pin cushion. That's actually embroidery, not cross stitch. I've never done embroidery really much before. So I put that upside down in here and that fits quite neatly in that square. I've got a tape measure in here, and all these colours you can see random are all what I'm using for my current project. So that's why I literally sit with this open. I've got the scissors, I've got the thread I'm using, I've got the needles, and I've got the rubbish area. So I thought that was quite good use of that one. Oh look, push up the lid. You might, I don't know if you can see through it there. But there's lots of compartments. So basically I'll put in one all the ones I'm using for the project, and then I'll put in the one I'm using right now. This helps like with greens, for example. If you've got lots of different greens, you're like, oh, which one was I using? So this is the whole project, and then the one I'm actually using at the time, for example. So they've fallen out a bit because I've just been messing about with that. Let me put my secret project back in there. Secret project. Ooh. It's coming along, but obviously I can't do it at the moment. It's not a good idea for me to do too much. That being said, I'm doing a jigsaw puzzle and I keep getting really nauseous, and I'm thinking it's the position of my head, my neck doing the puzzle, which would be a shame because there's not much I can do while I'm in this situation. So I'm going to do a bit of this while I'm chatting with you, because I'd really like to get this done. I have been videoing it. I did some time lapse. I think when I first started making the bottom, I was filming it like real time, I think. Then I did some time lapse, and then I've just been doing little photos or little video clips as it progresses, because I'm pretty sure no one wants to sit and watch the whole thing. But a bit of time lapse is good to see. I think I did that with the base, so you can see it evolving. Yeah, so I can't look at you now. It makes your hands hurt in the end. I'm only pushing it through the rope, the spear bit, but it's quite hard work to push them through. I'm so worried one of the sticks is going to snap. Then I'll have to pull it all out again. So there's a bit more done. You can't tell. Yeah, so literally I'm getting the next one and I push it on the end, but I pull it tight and push the stake over a bit, or else it's going to get baggy, and then push it downwards. And I've kind of been doing this while we've been watching TV. We've been watching Robinson Crusoe at the moment. Now it's a TV series. It's not like the film or anything. And I think it was 12 parts, something like that. And it was all the story. He was going to get home and different things happened. He didn't get home. But the last one, he finds out he's actually very well off, because he's been duped into not knowing who he really is. And he was going to get the ship home. And then the last minute, he didn't get the ship home because they all had black pox. So he jumped off the ship with Friday, and they'd gone back to the island. But in the meantime, the baddies came and burnt his tree house down. So he's got nowhere to live. And that's how it ended. Series 2. But I know with a lot of these American programs and series, they always think they're going to make a second part, so don't finish the story. But then the TV stations decide they're not doing a second part or continuing. So a lot of stories don't get finished, basically. So I don't know if there's a second series. Mike's got to look it up. I don't know what he got off of. He gets things off of YouTube mostly. So what we tend to do now is, if we watch any American series, he tries to look up first you can read up on the series, and it tells you how many episodes and when it was made and all that. And he looks to see if there's actually, they did make a second series or third series or whatever with it. I think I've done that bit a bit too tight, that one. It's very difficult. It's very good for me doing these baskets and things for my hand physio. and my hand to eye coordination and my small motor skills. Yeah. How's that one? That's coming along. Can you tell I've done a lot more? No. I've done three bits. I just want to finish it now. And it's quite stretchy. You can pull it around and manipulate it a bit. There's the inside. What am I going to use it for? I don't know. I'm sure I'll find a use. I like containers, storage containers. There's a shop in America. Oh, maybe someone can tell me in the comments what it's called. And it's all storage containers. I can't even tell you where it is. I'm assuming it's a like company that's got lots of stores everywhere. It's probably called something with storage container in the title. And I've seen that on YouTube on a vlog. And they go and, oh, if you want containers, oh, let's go to container storage store or whatever it's called. Oh, I would love that. I'd just be in there forever. I like storage containers, and I often would like to buy them without knowing a purpose for them. But you'll see I've got a video coming up with a declutter, and what I do, I've actually got a box of boxes and containers, and sometimes you'll sort things out and have an empty box, so I'll put that in the box. But then when I'm doing other sort out, you think, oh, I need a little box for that, or I need a big box for that, and that comes out of my box of boxes. So I'm always reusing and changing what things are used for. But yeah, I just love containers, and particularly like those thread boxes. I like them, and you can always find something to store. I like things all together, stored, same sort of things together. If I want to store, you'll see I had an issue with what to do with my lipsticks in the video. And I like to keep similar things together in the same sort of place. I think that comes from my mum saying everything must have a home. If it doesn't have a home, then get rid of it, basically. It was like new things on Christmas and birthdays. Oh, well, if you can't find a home for things you've already got, well, then you don't need more things. So we were brought up to put things away. If you played with a game, when you finished playing it, you put it away before you got something else out. If it was tea time or bedtime, you got your warning, clear up, in 10 minutes it's tea, that kind of thing. Yeah, so everything gets put away and has a place. And I very much don't really like too much clutter out. I keep a few special ornaments and things out. I've still got some areas I'd like to sort out. But I always, not always minimalise, but have less things out. So I clear out a drawer, let's say, things I don't need, and then sort things out. You'll see I always buy files and things like that, folders, because the things I need to keep, they need to have a place all together. I've got a tricky one now. I'm trying to push one of the sticks through a tricky bit. I've probably got, there we go. Got you in. Look, it's coming along. You can't tell because I keep pushing the sticks up as I go. But then I squeeze the rope down and push the sticks up. That's coming along. I don't want to have too much stick at the end. There. So the aim is, I don't think I'll get this finished. Oh, look, there's not much left. Maybe. I didn't want to do a long live today because I've been having a lot of head issues. So I say I keep getting nauseous. Well, it reminds me, have some more medicine. There. Yeah, so I find if I don't do reading and writing, it helps a lot. But you can't really go through the day without. doing it. And I don't want to miss my friends' lives. I've missed a lot already. I had to go back today and catch one of my friends' lives because I'm quite new to them. And I don't want to be one of these people that they think you've just joined their channel and you're not really going to be watching their channel or participating. Whereas I know my older friends know my restrictions and will forgive me until I'm able to come back fully. Well, that's funny now. There's 2 sticks in one hole now. Like knitting needles. I think that was gone diagonal, but it won't matter. It's holding it together. That one, oh, that one's gone a bit bendy. Right. That's better. Push that one in there. That's better. Just have to watch as you go around that they're not too bendy. Right, I'm on the tricky one. I'm on that double one. So I tried to push it through 2 at once. Not a good idea, Dawn, to push it down on your leg to get it in. That's better. Yeah, that's better. It's coming along. Coming along. Ooh, we're nearly there. Because then if I get this done, then I can go later on tomorrow maybe and look for, see beads or whatever on top. And as I say, I'm going to get Mike to maybe cut the tops. But I want, yeah, I think definitely some sort of bead or something. Don't have a lot of that kind of thing. The beads I can think of in my head are only like little thin hole beads. Any of you got suggestions? You know me, frugal. I don't want to go and buy something. We don't have that many sort of places of that sort of thing. Ooh, we're coming along. Ooh, just this little bit to go. Come on now. This is where one of these sticks is going to snap. Ooh, come on, you Dawn, you can do it. As I say, I've only been able to do this slowly watching telly because pushing these up really hurt my hands, but now I haven't got to do that. Craft in the making. Watch me do my craft. I did that a long time ago on my channel. It's doing crafting. If you've got a crafting channel, then do put it in the comments under this video, and then anyone who's interested in crafting channels, go and look at the comments under this video. You might meet some new channels. So yeah, if any of you guys do crafting, you know I watch some of your crafting channels, but put your channels down in the link below. And then anyone who's interested, go and look in the links below and see your crafting. So if you've got a crafting channel, put the title of the channel, but also put what sort of crafts you do. And I go on Thursdays. Sometimes it's Ginger's channel. Sometimes it's Blue Self-Reliance channel. I think what's Ginger's called? Not for Nothing Homestead, I think it's called. And on their Thursday chats, they alternate between who hosts the channel, but they're both on each week, but they alternate who hosts it, which channel. If you go on there, they share people's crafts on there, and they're doing a grand job because they're saying if you sell your crafts on Etsy, then if you email that to them when you show pictures of your crafts, they will promote your Etsy channel for you, which is really nice. And it's a lovely community, very inspiring community. Everyone says how good everyone's crafts is, whether you're a beginner like me, I'm a real beginner, kind of self-taught. Don't really know what I'm doing, but like this, I just kind of make it up as I go along. Look, yay! And yeah. So yeah, they were very praiseworthy and say how good it is. And I appreciate Blue always says that she knows my condition and how difficult it is for me to hold even a needle for very long to do the cross stitch. So She's lovely. Oh, look, we're nearly there. Does that one want to go in a bit more? No, that's all right. Right, I'm going to stop there because I've only got this little bit left, and I've got to twist and glue it and tape it, and then decide how much further round I go with that. Squishing it all down. And as I say, I think I need to glue probably from here now, glue it all in. What I was initially going to do was weave it in and out, back and forwards, but that wouldn't have looked so good. So we're nearly there. I'll have to take a picture of that for now for my channel where I'm showing it. Didn't actually show pushing it in, I don't think. Anyway, that is quite sturdy. Oh, if any of you got suggestions what to keep in it, as I say, it's just decorative anyway. You could put a pot plant in there. It's sort of nylon rope. Is it nylon? I think like nylon rope. So I don't know if that would wear in time if you watered in there. So probably not a pot plant. I'm going to say no to a pot plant. Probably just keep it on my desk. Put some bits in. Yes, that's coming along. So I'm going to leave it there because before I have my tea, I want to go looking for beads, looking for beads and things, and figure out how I'm going to finish this. I won't do any more today. I'm done with that. That's tired me out. It looks like a spaceship. Like I stood it up. Oh, water tower. And what do you say in Greek? Water tower is dexameni. Water tower. So I'm going to leave it there then. Thank you so much for being there. I'm recovering slowly. So thanks for all your support and your kind messages. And until next time, Meraki.